Hello and welcome to Andy and Katie's allotment. I'm Andy, and what I wanted to do is I did a video a few months ago now on allotment planning. I think it was a little bit too detailed in what I did. I just wanted to give you a bit more of an overview of how I've planned my allotment now, because it has evolved over time, as I've made more and more beds. Just so that this is probably a little bit easier term of reference as to how I've planned my allotment. Again, this will probably evolve over time because there is opportunities to interplant, to add things to another bed. So things that I've got that you'll see on the plan in a minute may well be able to have other vegetables planted in between, so that whilst the main vegetables for that crop are quite young, another vegetable can grow in the gap in between, so that by the time that the main crop of that bed have finished, have grown, the plant, the crop that I've put in between is probably fairly well on to being ready for harvest. So it's just a bit of a quicker crop, a catch crop, in between the main ones. So what I'll do is I'll just go through each bed and what I've done, and show you how I've made this plan. So what you'll see is that I've done a sheet for each planting. So first planting, so that's obviously when I will start to plant the first, or start to sow the first seeds. In this case, it will be around about the 14th of February. I'm planning on starting to start sowing. And I don't know. So those of you that have subscribed to the channel will have seen the layout of the allotment down on the plot, and this is basically just a very basic plan as to what the plot looks like and what I'm going to put in. So these are the first plantings, as I say. So if we go on the top, there's garlic, red onions, brown onions. They're already in. I put those in. I'll put the garlic in sort of late September, getting on towards the beginning of October. The red onion sets and the brown onion sets, they're in. They were in October. So then I've got a bed ready for first early potatoes under that, and early brassicas. So that's going to be things like cabbages, cauliflowers, and some broccoli. Although I have got that one, in fairness, is going to be cabbages and cauliflowers. I've got a separate bed for broccoli. Parsnips and carrots at the top on the right. As you can see, just above that it says rasp, so that's obviously where the bed that I've just made, and I'm going to put some raspberry canes in there hopefully in the next week or so, so they'll be ready to start growing next spring. I've got radishes and shallots. The shallots. The shallot sets are going to go in the spring, sort of after mid March. Parsnips, they're going to be March as well, and carrots, spinach and broccoli. As I said, just on the side issue, the dates that you can see, or the months that you can see written, June, July, etc. They're a rough estimate of when those beds will be ready to be cleared. In other words, when I'm getting the harvest from whatever vegetables in that first planting. So I've got celeriac, fennel and celery, mange 2 and sugar snap peas below the normal peas, so the normal peas for pods. You can see there I've got kohlrabi and beetroot, which again is what I was talking about initially. They're going to be like some catch crops, so I'm going to find a space at some time, at some convenient position to put those in, so I can get some beetroot and some kohlrabi as well as everything that you see in those beds. The plan for the second planting, again, very similar, but you can see there some of the things are going to be new, some of the things are carried on, because I like things like parsnips, they're a whole season vegetable, so therefore they're going to still be there, not going to have been harvested. But as you can see now, we're thinking already towards autumn. We've got autumn brassicas, leeks after potatoes, purple sprouting broccoli, tender stem broccoli. Some of the more winter brassicas, sprouts and swede, they're going to be in. And yeah, so that's basically, without sort of going through each individual bed, how I'm planning the second planting. So you can see that each bed is being used again, just from the initial making of the bed that I did, well, this year going into next year. So the final one is the third planting. So we can, some of them we can actually get third plantings from, or in the case of garlic, red onion sets and brown onion sets, they're obviously we're planting those, or I'm planting those for harvesting in June 2025, as I've done this year for June 2024. So we've got cabbage, purple sprouted broccoli, which again is in there already. The cabbage will be put in there to overwinter. The sprouts and the swede will finish cropping November, December time. As you can see there was carrots under the parsnips. The parsnips will carry on and be harvested November onwards. And I'm going to try some Christmas potatoes, see if we can get some, potatoes for Christmas. So then I'm going to do some spinach to overwinter, ready for spring 2025. Then, as you can see, all the other beds are still left empty. So what will happen there, before I plant anything that I have got plans for the beds, and also for the ones that I've left, I'm going to leave for next year, that will be when I'll put in on my yearly dressing of compost. So all the hard work that I've been doing as far as making compost is concerned, this is when it will come to fruition, because each bed will receive about an inch of covering compost, and that will be the soil food for the next 12 months till sort of winter, early winter, late autumn 2025. So that's the 3 lots of sowings that I've done. Then what I've done is, just to give me a bit of a reminder, I've just made a list of which vegetable, when I've sowed, or when to sow it, when I'm going to sow it, when I'm going to plant it out, and when I'm going to harvest it. So if you look at the orange ones, just for example, 14th of February, like I say, is the date that I'm planning to really kick off with the planting. So that's the date I'm going to plant some salad, radish, spring onion, spinach, and early cabbage, something like greyhound, something like that. Calabrese, which is obviously the summer flowering broccoli, cauliflower, fennel, and kohlrabi, and all the peas that I said I was going to plant. So that's the date that I'm going to plant them. To sow them. Then I'm going to plant them out sort of March time. So those will go in February. The peas will go in a bit later, as it says there, early March, but they grow quite fast. They'll probably catch up all the first sowings, so they'll all go out late March, and then so that's the next column. The next column is obviously the final column is when they'll be harvested. So we've got everything from May to July and June for the peas, and the principle's the same. It's just a different colour for each time. That just to remind me that the next planting is ready. So all the ones of the same colour are just, it just makes it easy for me, because I'm just I work on that kind of principle, that what I can see, and that's it. Really simple, but as I say, it's not only a plan, but it's also quite flexible too. Things will change. I have no doubt, as as gaps appear, as maybe something fails or doesn't go in the way that I want it to, or maybe something may take longer than what I anticipated because of weather conditions or whatever it is. But say the main thing is I've got that framework to refer to. I hope this is of some use to you when it comes to planning. If this is it is like me, your first full year of growing. If it is some use, then follow how I get on with my plantings next year on Andy and Kate's allotment on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, and then you won't miss any videos that I put on, any updates that I put on, because I do intend to fully document every time I do some planting, every time I do some sowing, etc., and then later on, obviously, how we get on with the harvest. So, as I say, do subscribe, and then you won't miss any parts of this journey and this adventure that we're having down on Andy and Kate's allotment. But until the next time, goodbye and happy gardening.